Is it Thursday night already, ladies and gentlemen? What is up, Star Wars fans? Okay, the truth has come out. Finally, the truth has come out. We got a lot to talk about tonight, so let's dive right into all of it. What's up, guys? It's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars. Wow. I did not expect to be talking about this tonight. I did not expect to be talking about this at all today. But the truth has slowly leaked its way out finally to the public, where we found out that Disney themselves did force Lucasfilm to announce a lot of projects that weren't even in the works at the time in 2020, and that's why Rangers of the New Republic, the Droids Tales, the Lando show, none of that is happening. Maybe the Lando movie, but it's been turned into a movie. None of that stuff's happening, and we're not going to ever see the light of day with any of that, because Disney just forced them into making a bunch of announcements that didn't really make any sense. So how are we doing tonight? We're going to get into all of it. Don't worry. And there's some cool stuff that they've been releasing about the Ahsoka show with Dave Filoni and Iman Esfandi, who played Ezra Bridger, and all that other stuff. So yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So how are we doing on this fine Thursday evening? It's Thursday. Let me open up the chat to see how you guys are doing. Billy Smith. What's up, Billy? Billy, welcome to the people who love Star Wars at the Padawan level. Very, very, very generous of you. Thank you, Billy. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Salty Texas Ranger, how we doing? Cats Pod, Austin, how we doing? All right. Salty says, Disney would force Kathleen Kennedy to go home and never come back. That is something I am ready for. Well, Salty, that hasn't happened, and I honestly don't know if it will happen anytime soon, but we'll get into it. Does this mean we won? Not particularly. No, it does not mean. That does not mean we won. All right, let's dive into these reports, okay? Because right off the bat, we got to get into. Actually, let's take the foot off the gas a little bit here, and let's get to some more positive news before we get to this whole ridiculousness that is Disney forcing Star Wars to do things that they don't want to do. All right, so let's dive into these cool videos that were released first, so that we're not hating too much tonight. What the hell? All right, here we go. Let's watch these videos. So this is just on the tweetars. Just on Twitter. Okay, so this is, we'll do the Dave Filoni one first. Okay, so this says, Jedi, Sith, and Space Whales. Dave Filoni discusses the legacy of Star Wars stories, all episodes of Ahsoka out now. But listen to what Dave Filoni has to say, because it's pretty fascinating. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go full screen. Let's listen to the GOAT himself talk.
We all bring a little bit to Star Wars of what we like, and we hope it fits into that galaxy. George, he created this galaxy. He created these dynamics, Jedi, Sith, all these things I play with, and I've been fortunate that he taught me a lot of things. I am always doing my best to follow what he taught, and my nature comes into it. So you get space whales and wolves, that's all part of it. We all bring.
So first of all, the thing that is very noticeable in this is the music from the end of Ahsoka. This is the music that plays at the end of the Ahsoka show when we see Anakin's Force Ghost. My God, Kevin Kiner, who did the soundtrack, or the whatever the hell it's called, did the soundtrack, I guess, for the Ahsoka show. Incredible. Like, people were worried that John Williams, who did all the Star Wars movies that made Star Wars this iconic thing that it is, because all the Star Wars music is so iconic. People were worried that when John Williams was done, which he is now, that the music from Star Wars was going to fall off. Then The Mandalorian comes around and it's like dum dum, and it's like the greatest thing ever. And then the Ahsoka show was like, holy shit, the score is incredible. So that's what's going on in the background here. But he talks about George Lucas. So let's watch this back again. Let's watch it back again. Billy, what's up, Billy? Thanks again for becoming a member. I thanked you earlier, but you weren't in the chat. That's okay.
We all bring a little bit to Star Wars of what we like, and we hope it fits into that galaxy. George, he created this galaxy. He created these dynamics, Jedi, Sith, all these things I play with, and I've been fortunate that he taught me a lot of things. I am always.
What's cool about this is, of course, we talked about Dave Filoni being the apprentice of George Lucas many, many times before, because he worked under him under the Clone Wars and learned so much from George Lucas. But what he's saying is, we as creatives, like as the guy who did the entire Ahsoka show. Him, Jon Favreau, all these people, Leslie Headland even, who's doing The Acolyte, John Watts, who's doing Skeleton Crew, like all these people get to take what George Lucas created and put their own little spin on it, and hopefully it kind of meshes together in some cool new universe. But what he's talking about is how he got to actually sort of work underneath George and learn so much from him. And that's kind of why we call him the apprentice and the goat himself.
Is doing my best to follow what he taught, and my nature comes into it. So you get space whales and wolves, you know, that's all part of it.
You get space whales and wolves. But what's interesting is when he says space whales, they show space whales. And when he says wolves, they show Balin's skull. Now, they could have shown a Loth Wolf from Rebels. I get this is more about the Ahsoka show, but if you guys don't know, Shin Hati and Balin's Skull and Hati are like these two wolves in mythology. In the mythology, I don't even know if it's Greek mythology. I think it's something else. But there's these two wolves that like are endlessly chasing each other around the moon or something. I don't even know what it is, but it does have to do with wolves. And it's funny that Dave Filoni always ties back to wolves and space whales. But I mean, the goat himself, there's not much that needs to be said about that. Let's watch the Iman Esfandi one, because this is the Kanan Jarrus Forever one. Where's the Iman one? What? Oh, maybe this is.
Tell me everything.
That's not it. Where is it? Oh, here we go.
A real person.
All right, let's watch Iman Esfandi talk about Ezra Bridger.
I take Ezra Bridger as a real person, and he's so smart and he's so gifted. He's grown into himself a lot more. He's become a much stronger Jedi, but even more so, he's become more of a family member amongst his team and crew of rebels. Because I also already felt so connected to Ezra and felt like he was there whenever I needed him, I just felt that inspiration. But yeah, Ezra, young kid with a lot of heart. I take Ezra Bridger as a real person.
So what's funny is, I mean, obviously he looks like Ezra Bridger because he is live action Ezra Bridger, but he is the perfect embodiment of the character of Ezra. He's been going to a lot of cons lately, and his interaction with the fans and stuff like that, like he really is Ezra Bridger, and he's having a lot of fun with the role and stuff, but he gets the character, and that's the big thing. Like a lot of people made fun of the fact that he comes out here. Where is this? When he comes out of the ship here, when he's back in the galaxy, they're like, why would Ezra come out with his helmet on? Why would Ezra do that? Why would Ezra come out with his helmet on? So many fans were complaining about that. They were like, that's stupid. That's terrible writing. That's just such bad writing. How about that's great writing? Because this is the character of Ezra Bridger. Watched Rebels? The guy who literally just plays jokes on people for the fun of it. Of course he's going to come out with the freaking helmet on and make this big reveal that I'm home. Hera, I'm home. Because he's fucking Ezra Bridger. It's perfect. It's perfect character development. It's the perfect take from an animated character to a live action character. Because we talked about how some animated characters come to live action and they're not nearly as good. The Grand Inquisitor comes to mind. But with characters from the Rebels show, coming into the Ahsoka show with Sabine, Hera, Jason Syndulla, Ezra Bridger, Thrawn, they all look incredible. They all portray the same exact character that we remember from animation, and this was the perfect scene from it. Perfect scene. But that's a little bit of Iman. Now let's go to, there was one other thing I wanted to see here. Let's watch this. Trust in the Force. Let's do it. They're still doing trailers for Ahsoka. We talked about how we're getting like a trailer a day. Keeps Kathleen Kennedy away before the Ahsoka show came out. Well, how about a trailer a day after the Ahsoka show keeps Kathleen Kennedy away? So let's watch this one too. Okay, hang on. God damn, that's cool. I just remember sitting here during our episode 5 watch party. I think the majority of it was just me staring at the screen going, because of shit like this.
Over the years, I've made my share of difficult choices. No matter what happens next, trust in the Force.
Rain hellfire upon them.
Battle's not over yet.
Now!
Ahsoka, all episodes now streaming, only on Disney+.
God damn. Was this show so fucking good. Oh my God. So if you guys aren't familiar, I like this show quite a bit, okay? And I made a video about last week about this being the best Star Wars show there is, Ahsoka. And even in the video, I said it's not even close. And we're going to rewatch that because it was so fucking cool. I haven't watched that yet, and it gave me goosebumps. It was that good. This show is unbelievable. This show is so good, and you can personally like a different show more, and I completely get that. It's your own personal opinion, whatever. I'm a huge Rebels fan, so again, it makes me more likely to like the Ahsoka show. It makes sense. But the fact of the matter was, some people came into the comment section of that video and were like, "What are you talking about? Dave Filoni can't write shit. The plot holes in this thing were insane." Like, some people who don't have brains, you know, those type of people. And all I just want to tell them is, I feel bad for them. But what I want to show them is this 30-second clip and say, how the fuck did you not like those last 3 episodes? Episode 5, 6, 7, 8? 4 episodes, I guess. How did you not like it? Because these are all clips from the last 4 episodes, I believe.
Over the years, I've made my share of difficult choices. No matter what happens next, trust in the Force.
Rain hellfire upon them.
This is Star Wars. Joss Wilding from comicbookmovie.com. I agree.
The battle's not over yet.
Now!
Ahsoka, all episodes now streaming.
Damn, I might go rewatch this whole series for tonight. I might go watch the entire series over again tonight. Whew. That's incredible. That's incredible. I fucking love this show, and I forgot how much I love this show until I just watched those 30 seconds. All right. That's all we got from the Star Wars themselves. But we'll get into this other news momentarily. How we doing, chat? I haven't really been looking at the chat lately. Oh, what's up, Anthony? How we doing? All right. Make a poll. What poll about what, Austin? Poll about what? Let's just pull up an easy one tonight. Let's pull up an easy one. Do you want Kathleen Kennedy fired? Or let's just say to leave. She doesn't have to be fired. Do you want Kathleen Kennedy to leave? Yes or no? Let's see it. That could be our easy poll for the night. All right. Anthony says, Mike, I call BS on the excuse that Rangers of the New Republic's non-existence. Favreau already wrote the first 2 episodes of it in 2020. Gina Carano read the pilot and signed a new contract. I don't doubt that the show didn't exist, Anthony. But what we're going to get into, though, is the fact that even if it did exist, it wasn't ready to be announced. We're going back to 2020 when all this shit was announced, when they announced this huge slate of Star Wars projects that almost half of them haven't even been released or aren't even in production, so that they aren't happening. I don't disagree with you. I think Rangers of the New Republic existed at some point, at some level. Maybe the first 2 episodes were, in fact, written, but that doesn't change the fact that Gina Carano was fired and the show was scrapped, you know? What's up, Billy? How we doing? Cat's Paw says, Disney Star Wars thinks they're all dumb. Thinks we're all dumb, I think. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. They think we're dumb, and they think we don't know what's going on. And the funny thing is we've been talking about this stuff going on behind the scenes for like months now. We knew that something was going on. We knew we were never getting Rangers of the New Republic. We knew that the Lando show was most likely not going to happen, and now it's being turned into a movie, and who knows if that's even going to happen. Like, we know this stuff. We're not stupid. And now the truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. So we'll get into all of it. Yeah. I would love to see a series of Ezra's time on Peridia. You probably won't see that, but you might get a novel. I heard that Timothy Zahn is working. Timothy Zahn's the guy who did Heir to the Empire trilogy and did the Thrawn novels, the canon Thrawn trilogy. He is working on a book about Thrawn and Ezra's time on Peridia. Yeah. I have watched episode 5 over and over again. Me too, when it came out, but I haven't really watched it lately, and I might have to go back and watch it again. Anthony says, Mike, I hope the next time we see Ezra, he looks like this interview in the story. I think Thrawn allowed soldiers to go see their loved ones. After 10 years, Ezra's opportunity. What? I think Thrawn allowed soldiers to go see their loved ones after 10 years. Ezra's opportunity. You think Thrawn let his troopers just leave? I seriously doubt that. What's up, John? How we doing? I seriously doubt that. Yeah. Cat's Paw says, I can't see Thrawn leaving leaving the alive stormtroopers, leaving to see their loved ones. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that's actually what's going on here. Letting the alive sequel, what? Stormtroopers leave? Oh, yeah. Darth KK has to go. Yeah. Mariana Barbara says, Disney screwed up when they fired Gina. Yeah, we could get into that, but that's a little shaky when it comes to a topic of discussion. But yes, I agree. Yeah, 100%. What's up, John? How we doing? Yeah. Thrawn made Sabine go find Ezra. Yes, she did. He did. Yes, he did. Comics sounds good, but it would be a novel. It would be a novel. It's a novel. Timothy Zahn would be writing a novel about Thrawn and Ezra's time on Peridea. But I'd still love to see a TV series where Ezra and Thrawn are on Peridea. I'd love to see that too, but I just seriously doubt you will see that. And what's funny is 100% of you would love to see Kathleen Kennedy leave. 100%. That is rarefied air when it comes to the polls around here. 100% is wild. 100% is wild. But let's get into this news, all right? Let's enough dilly-dallying around. We did a lot of the fun stuff, but now let's get into the good, juicy stuff, all right? This is coming from Screen Rant. Disney reportedly forced Lucasfilm to make the Star Wars announcements before they were ready. According to a report focusing on Disney's biggest franchises, the Mouse House, that's great, forced Lucasfilm to announce Star Wars projects before they were ready. Here we go. Are you guys buckled in? Are you guys ready to go? Are you guys buckled up and ready to go? Are you ready? Give me a 1 into the chat if you're ready for this ridiculousness, please. A recent insight into Disney's biggest franchises claims that the conglomerate forced Lucasfilm to announce Star Wars projects before they were ready. At Disney's Investor Day 2020, 3 years ago, okay? Coming up on 3 years now. 3 years ago, there was a huge announcement. Well, I think I have the slate pulled up over here. Yeah, here we go. 2020, this stuff was all announced. Oh, that's not. This stuff. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that picture. All this stuff was announced. And more, I believe. You had Acolyte, Indiana Jones, Obi-Wan, Andor, Willow, Bad Batch, Rangers, Rogue Squadron, a Droid Story, Lando, Ahsoka, Mando, Children of the Blood and Bone, and Visions. Now, honestly, guys, I mean, Kenobi happened, Andor happened, Mando happened, Ahsoka happened. Well, Mando was already happening, but yes. Bad Batch was already happening, but yes. Rogue Squadron didn't happen. Droid Story didn't happen. Acolyte will happen. Willow, oh my god. Sorry. Indiana Jones was supposed to be the show. I don't know if that's referring to the movie, but I think that's the show. There's supposed to be an Indiana Jones spin-off show. That didn't happen. Rangers of the New Republic didn't happen. Children of the Blood and Bone didn't happen. So this is what they're talking about, that announcement. That was 2020 when all that stuff was announced, okay? Let's get into it. At the Disney's Investor Day 2020, Kathleen Kennedy took the stage to announce a slew of upcoming Star Wars TV and movies. The projects were Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, Andor, Obi-Wan, Star Wars Visions, Lando, The Acolyte, Star Wars A Droid Story, and Rogue Squadron. Recently, an insight into these announcements were provided by the book MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios by Jonah Robinson, Dave Gonzalez, and Gavin Edwards. I like it when they have normal names that I can pronounce. It really helps. It really makes my day, you know? Billy, you want to see the Droid Story? I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I seriously doubt you will. This book claims that Disney forced both Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm into announcing projects that were nowhere near close to being ready for announcements, let alone development. So they weren't even ready for announcements, but they weren't even ready for development. They weren't even in development. Like a Droid Story was not in development. The Lando movie or show was not in development. Rangers of the New Republic may have been in development, but it wasn't ready for an announcement. A lot of that stuff going on here on the Star Wars side. There was some other Marvel side stuff, like 2020 was kind of when they announced their whole thing of project. Let me look up the. Yeah, let's do this. Marvel 2020 announcements. Marvel 2020. Oh, well, I can't read. I can't spell announcements, huh? So Marvel 2020 announcements was all of this. So they announced. Actually, no, that would have. Yeah, no, that wasn't the same day. That wasn't the same day. Because all that stuff had already come out. This isn't it. This isn't it. Because this is after. That's before. Hang on. What was it? Investors Day? Investor Day. Let's see. Was this the announcements? I don't think it was. Yeah, WandaVision already came out by then. Maybe it was this stuff? Armor Wars, Secret Invasion, stuff like this. I'm not too sure. Whatever. I don't really know. Oh, Black Panther 2, maybe. Yeah, this might have been it. So all these projects for them actually happened. They just weren't nearly ready for announcements or release dates. I mean, Blade hasn't happened yet. Fantastic Four hasn't happened yet. Armored Wars hasn't happened yet. Ironheart hasn't happened yet. So yeah. That is the same sort of thing. But on the Star Wars side, it's more true than, I'm sure, Marvel, because Marvel kind of rolls with the punches anyway. So this is a quote from the book. Kevin Feige and Lucasfilm chair Kathleen Kennedy appeared on screen to announce the dizzying number of new projects. Both Feige and Kennedy were pressured into announcing projects that were nowhere near ready, some of which have since been canceled or significantly overhauled and delayed. For example, the overhauled and delayed ones are, of course, let's go back to this one, are, of course, Lando. I mean, Rogue Squadrons is canceled by now. Let's be honest, guys. Let's just be honest. Acolyte has definitely been delayed big time. Even Star Wars Visions back last year was delayed big time. So you got some canceled projects, like those 3-ish, give or take Lando. You got some postponed projects and stuff like that. So they weren't ready, that's for sure. As proven by these comments, Disney pressure on Lucasfilm and Kennedy to announce several projects has led to the instability seen in the Star Wars franchise of late. The constant changing of Star Wars' upcoming movie release slate, as well as an overhaul of different Disney Plus shows, are of this. With the pressure of Lucasfilm by Disney providing an adequate explanation as to why this is the case. So honestly, Disney said, hey, you're going to announce all these projects, but then you're going to have to come up with a excuse as to why these projects didn't happen. That's pretty much what they said. They said, look, fuck you. We're going to make you announce all these projects. And then you're going to have to explain why they didn't happen, or why they're being delayed, or when they're going to happen, when they don't even have release dates yet, when they're not even in development yet, and they haven't even been written yet. And that's kind of why Star Wars has been in a spiral for so long. For these last couple of years, we've had different movies be announced, different movies be canceled. A Taika movie, gone. This Rogue Squadron movie, gone. What the hell is his name? The guy who was writing, what the hell is his name? Oh, Kevin Feige Star Wars movie with Michael Waldron writing, gone. There's more examples. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But there's all these different movies that are being into production, and they're like, oh, announce them. And then they're like, well, they're not going to work, so let's not announce them. Because when you give us a slate of movies or a slate of content here, we expect to see all of them. We get hyped, we get excited, we get very intrigued to see what's to come next, and then they don't happen. We get bummed out when Rogue Squadrons doesn't happen, even though Rogue Squadron didn't even look that good. You know? We haven't gotten a Star Wars movie in 4 years. It's going to be 7 years by the time we get the first Star Wars movie. And it's going to be a Rey movie. Let that sink into your brain. But let's keep reading. Lucasfilm had delivered most of the 2020 announcements, but not all. Despite the pressure of Disney, Lucasfilm has delivered some of the projects announced at 2020, albeit not every single one of them. Ahsoka and/or Obi-Wan and Star Wars Visions have all been released onto Disney Plus with minimal issues. Some have been delayed. Some have just taken a little while. I mean, 2020 was when that was announced. Ahsoka just came out 3 years later. 3 years later. You don't announce something in 2020 with the thoughts of it coming out in 2023. That's not something you would do. you get fans excited for 3 years into the future. It's just not something you'd want to do, you know? With the Acolyte currently set for the last outcome, with the release of 2024, it should be, in 2024. With that said, others on this list have yet to be released and, in some cases, have either been completely canceled or shelved indefinitely. The Lando series is one of these projects, which has hit multiple development issues. Now it's been turned into a movie instead of a series, like it says here. Well, this show is apparently still going ahead. Donald Glover and his brother Steven replaced the show's writer, Justin Semien, in July of 2023. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron has been canceled completely, and Star Wars: A Droid Story not being mentioned since its initial announcement. Literally hasn't even been mentioned once by anybody. Rangers of the New Republic was also canceled, with elements of the story including The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Each of these cases proved that Lucasfilm was not ready to announce a handful of these projects, with the pressure to do so seemingly coming from the top of the House of Mouse and resulting in a period of flux in Star Wars. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let me pull this up again. What project is not seen on this board that was released in 2021, the following year? What project is not on this board that was released in 2021? Does anybody know? Somebody tell me in the chat. What project was released? Nobody knows? 2021. I'll give you a hint. It ran into 2022. Literally came out at the end of 2021, ran into 2022. The Book of Boba Fett. There you go, Anthony. The Book of Boba Fett. So the Book of Boba Fett came out before all of these. Before every single one of these project announcements. Before every single one of these projects that was announced here in 2020, the Book of Boba Fett came out first. And it wasn't announced. Meaning, of course, Disney's telling Kathleen Kennedy she has to announce all these projects so that we can get investors hyped up and get more money. But the one project that came out first wasn't even announced. And during the time of this investor day, you got to cast your mind back to 2020. Cast your mind back to 2020. This is Mando Season 2. So this is when Luke Skywalker shows up. Luke Skywalker shows up a few weeks after this investor day meeting. Few weeks after, maybe even a few days after, I forget. It's something along the lines of that. So the end of Mando Season 2 ends with Boba Fett taking the throne on Tatooine, and then it says Boba Fett will return in the Book of Boba Fett coming next year. That was after this announcement, shortly after this announcement. Let's remember that. Shortly after this announcement, during the Investor Day meeting, didn't want to spoil the end of Mando Season 2. I totally get that. But at the same time, the first project that is going to come out for you wasn't even announced at this big Investor Day meeting. Not only that, the Book of Boba Fett happens because Rangers of the New Republic doesn't. The Book of Boba Fett is the sort of like rebound for the lack of Rangers. Because Cara Dune gets fired, her character's name's Cara Dune. Gina Carano gets fired shortly after The Mandalorian Season 2 because of some tweets she said on Twitter. And whether you think that's wrong or not, doesn't matter. She still got fired. And they had to cancel her own show. She was going to get a spinoff show, Rangers of the New Republic. Now, we don't know if Rangers was going to be good or not. We really don't. But you can't deny that the Book of Boba Fett was a rushed project. It was only 7 episodes. 2 of them were Mando episodes. And usually it's 8 episodes. The Ahsoka's been 8 episodes. All 3 seasons of Mando have been 8 episodes. This is the only project that's 7. And it has 2 Mando episodes. So clearly it was rushed. It was kind of just had to be turned into something because Rangers got canceled. And they had to fill in that story gap because Mando Season 3 wasn't ready. They had to do a lot of stuff before they brought back The Mandalorian. They had to bring Grogu and Din back together, apparently. But that was a whole nother thing. So everything kind of just gets tossed into chaos when Gina Carano gets fired. But it also gets tossed into chaos because Disney themselves forced Lucasfilm to announce all these projects. Now, we've talked about Kathleen Kennedy being the problem many times over again. Look at the poll right now. Is it still at 100%? Oh, 92%. 92% of you guys think that Kathleen Kennedy should be gone. And I agree with you. She is definitely a problem behind the scenes all day long. But Disney is just as big a problem, whether it's Bob Iger, whether it's Bob Chapek, whether it's whomever. Disney is a big, big problem. And the problem in this scenario is you wanted the investors to be happy, so you announced a lot of projects that either got canceled, either didn't happen, either have been delayed indefinitely, or, like the Lando show, are in limbo right now, just trying to figure out what it wants to be. And the problem with that is, the big, 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 big problem with all that is, you look stupid. You look so dumb, because now, 3 years later, some of those projects have come out. Kenobi, Andor, Ahsoka, they've all come out. The Bad Batch, they've all come out. But guess what? Ahsoka took 3 years. Lando still going crazy, but other projects have been canceled. Willow got turned into a TV show that literally got taken down. Taken off of the freaking thing called Disney Plus after being up there for 6 months. Taken off. Not just like, oh, if you want to watch Willow, you can watch it. It was a failure, but you can go watch. You can't even find it. It doesn't exist. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And now the truth is finally coming out 3 years later after an announcement in 2020 led to cancellations, led to false promises. There have been these things in the past. I mean, with Star Wars, it seems like it happens all the time. But with Marvel, it's happened fairly often, I'd say. They've announced some projects that didn't happen, or they get renamed, or they just take a while to happen, they get postponed. Stuff like that happens. When it comes to Star Wars, they like to keep stuff a secret for as long as possible until they have to announce something. They want to announce it and then announce it with a trailer, get people hyped up, get people excited, and then give them the awesome, cool product that is The Mandalorian, that is the Ahsoka show. I get the fact that they want Star Wars to be Marvel because they've had success with Marvel, and Marvel literally releases their whole next phase at the first chance they get. But that's not what Star Wars is. They can't be the same, you know? So what's interesting as we look at this slate without Boba Fett on it, even though Boba Fett's the first project to come out after this announcement, it's interesting to see canceled, delayed indefinitely, I guess. Canceled, delayed, big time. Even Ahsoka took 3 years to come out. Indiana Jones is canceled. And now the truth comes out. It was Disney's fault. This isn't Kathleen Kennedy's fault, and maybe it is a little bit her fault, but it's Disney's fault. The executives forced Lucasfilm to announce projects that weren't ready. Weren't ready in development, weren't ready for announcements, weren't ready for anything. That was a lot. So let me catch up on the chat, and let's see what you guys are talking about. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Holy crap, you guys are talking a lot. All right, let me go back up. Anthony says, Mike, I love that Filoni has space whales in 2023. Well, in 1992, a junior novel, The Glove of Darth Vader, featured ocean dwellers, whale dons, on Mon Calamari being ruthlessly hunted. Parallels. I wonder if those are parallels. I don't know. I could not tell you. I've not read that book, I must tell you. Yeah. Billy Smith, again, very, very, very generously became a person who loves Star Wars, a member of the people who love Star Wars. I don't know. The people who love Star Wars says, we need the droid story. I don't think you do. The droid story is marketed to be like a story about C-3PO and R2-D2. That's what it was. So I doubt you'll see it. Yeah. Swagger Like Us says, the Ahsoka series peak 2 episodes and Andor are the best live-action Disney content to date. No other Disney IP comes close. No other Disney IP? I mean, Loki Season 1 is pretty banger, and Season 2 so far is also pretty banger. I would have to say those. But, yes, I think Ahsoka and Andor is pretty good. I think The Mandalorian and Ahsoka are the top two hits. And they're both Star Wars shows, and they should be backing the shit out of them, but they really aren't. John Groom, what's up? John says, was Skeleton Crew not on that announcement? Oh, John, I didn't even John, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. It wasn't. That's because Skeleton Crew actually wasn't created yet. That's something else too. Skeleton Crew's not on this. Let's talk about what's not on this announcement. Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew, Tales of the Jedi. I guess that's it. Wait. Tales of the Jedi. What else comes out next year? Next year is Acolyte, which is right there. Acolyte, Tales of the Jedi, Bad Batch Season 3. It's also right there. That was Season 2, though. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess it's just Tales of the Jedi, Skeleton Crew, and Book of Boba Fett. Now, Skeleton Crew actually wasn't even created, wasn't even conceived as a thought yet at that time. So, what's interesting is the Bad Batch. Thanks, Billy. What's interesting is Skeleton Crew was created in 2021, I believe, or 2020 maybe it was created, but on the set of Spider-Man No Way Home, because John Watts was working with Jon Favreau. They came up with an idea to create the Skeleton Crew show, and they streamlined the thing, and now it's supposed to come out next year. Yeah, so that's kind of why it's not on there, you know? Does anyone really want to see the Lando movie? Let's ask the class. Do you guys want to see a Lando movie? Should we pull it up? Because I know this poll is whatever. 94% of you, I'm sure one person said that, yeah. 93% of you, and math is not mathing, but 93% of you want Kathleen to leave, obviously. Okay, so let's make a real poll here. Do you want the Lando movie? Let's go with that. Yes or no? Do you want the Lando movie? Yes or no? A droid story could be about Huge Wang. Ooh. See, that would be more interesting, but that wasn't the plan. The droid story was first announced to be about C-3PO and R2-D2. No, you don't want it? Good question. Well, right now, you guys are about 50-50. 57. Oh, fluctuating. 57% of you guys say no right now, that you don't want the Lando movie. Interesting. 50-50. We've hit 50-50. All right. Let me scroll back up so I can see. There we go. Star Wars is killing you, Mike Knight? Why is that? Great name, by the way. Mike Knight, why is Star Wars killing you? Mike, don't forget Rian Johnson's trilogy when no one wanted it. Well, yeah, Rian Johnson's trilogy's also been canceled. It's not going to happen. That's the thing. When they tried to put all their eggs in one basket when it was The Last Jedi, when they were like, oh my God, The Last Jedi is going to be so good. It's going to be amazing. Oh my God, it's going to be so good. The Last Jedi. Yay, woo, yeah, Last Jedi. Let's put everything behind Rian Johnson. Let's literally announce that he's going to get his own trilogy before this movie even comes out. Before this movie even gets released. Before the fans even get to tell us how bad this movie is, let's tell them that the director of this movie is going to be getting an entire trilogy. And then we'll cancel it behind the scenes by just not ever talking about it again. And if anyone ever brings it up, Kathleen will just say, oh, Ryan's a busy guy. Who's Rian Johnson? Great question, Billy. He's the guy who directed The Last Jedi. Billy says, just think, we have a life expectancy of 60 to 80. Yes? What's that supposed to mean, Billy? I don't know where you're getting at. Cat's Paw says, some might have been some might have been written, but with all of the recent flops, they might have just been scrapped. They scrapped the projects. Well, not even that. They were forced to announce them 3 years ago when they weren't ready. That's kind of what we're talking about, you know? John says, I'd rather a Mayfield movie showing his experience in the Empire. Ooh, like the guy Bill Burr character from Mando. That would be actually more entertaining than a Lando movie. Here's the thing. Lando's a cool character. Don't get me wrong. 100% he's a cool character. From the original trilogy, like, seeing him go from the scoundrel that he is into the guy who starts Cloud City, that would be cool to see. Not in a movie. I would not want to see that in a movie. You're wasting so much time and money to give us a story that you could show in like a Tales of the Jedi episode of like 10 minutes, like a short or something. Like, you don't need a whole 2.5, 3 hour movie to give us a Lando movie. We don't need that. And honestly, 64% of you don't even want it. It's weird. Yeah. She doesn't know what she's doing. Yeah, Austin, she doesn't. Anthony says, ironically, there were some rumors that Rangers of the New Republic would feature Cara Dune and Carson Teva recruiting Mayfield to become a Ranger to make amends instead of jail after being discovered. Yeah, that's probably where it would go. It would take characters that we already know from The Mandalorian, Cara Dune, Carson Teva, probably even Greef Karga, and maybe even Mayfield and some of those others, and they would be the Rangers of the New Republic. They would be fighting the remnant of the Empire in the Outer Rim, and it would have tied to the First Order a little bit. It would have tied to the Shadow Council probably, and it would have done all those cool stuff. Like, that's what we missed out on. Something that would be interconnecting. Just because they had to go and fire one lady, you know? Yeah. Billy says, do you plan on watching Loki Season 2? I am watching Loki Season 2. Yeah, there's a new episode tonight, I believe. Last episode was pretty good. Your pal Joe, what's up? Joe, how we doing? Ooh, that dark saber looks fresh. It's actually Ahsoka's saber, Joe. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Tony says, oh, that's his other channel, A Guy Who Loves Marvel. Tony, I don't know if that's a joke or not, but I do have a channel called A Guy Who Loves Marvel. I just haven't uploaded it for like years. Yeah. Anthony says, Gina confirmed that it was going to be heavily featuring Cara Dune as a linchpin for the rest of the Mandoverse. It would have depicted the New Republic in the Outer Rim. Well, yeah, that's kind of where it's obviously what it was going to be about. The Rangers of the New Republic would have been the Outer Rim Rangers with Cara Dune and Carson Teva fight, and probably Zeb Orrelios. Like, Zeb Orrelios was brought into the Rangers via Mando Season 3. He probably would have been in the other show. Og MC, what's up? Says, yo, how we doing? John says, I think the idea behind pacifying Boba was to make him a main character. You can't have a cold-blooded killer as a mainstream character? Sure you can. Why not? I mean, Mando was a cold-blooded killer. Like, the first scene we see of Din Djarin is him trying to get the bounty, and he like kills like 3 people at that bar. He's a cold-blooded murderer, and so is Boba. Carson Teva was taking over the character of Cara Dune. He's doing his best, but we miss Cara. Yeah, I mean, Carson Teva has kind of filled that role, especially in Mando Season 3, but he's even in the Ahsoka show as well, and that would have been Cara Dune's role for sure. Cara Dune, Carson Teva. I mean, they literally are trying to trick us with the same exact name. Anthony says, oh yeah, it was going to portray the story elements of Lucas intended, the conflict within the Outer Rim post Return of the Jedi. The crime syndicates, like the Book of Boba Fett did, via the power within the Imperial Remnant. Yeah, we would have gotten a lot of that stuff. The power struggle with maybe even the Hutts and Boba and stuff like that. Yeah, you would get a lot of that. Billy says, why did Cad Bane get unalived again? Oh, why did he get unalived? Why did he get unalived? Oh, well, he lost a fight to Boba Fett. But honestly, I think Cad Bane's still alive. You don't bring a legendary character like one of the coolest bounty hunters ever, one of my personal favorite bounty hunters. What's your favorite bounty hunter? Tell me your favorite bounty hunter in the chat. But Cad Bane is one of my top 3 for sure. And you don't bring a guy like that into live action for the first time and then kill him off in the very next episode. You don't do that. So I think he'll be back. Yeah. Swagger Like Us says, as a creative myself, you should always strive to make the content possible. If not great, cancel it. That's very true, Swagger. You want to make the best content possible, and that's why we got all these sick new badges and shit for the channel here. Let's shout it out right now. Let's do it. Wait, what the? Let's go down here. Let's go down here, and let's go down here. Let's go down here. Where is this? What the hell? There we go. Much better. What the hell? Much better. Okay, so we have 3 levels to become a member now. You can become a Padawan for only 99 cents. 99 cents to become a member of this channel. 99 cents, that's it. You can literally find that on the ground, find that in the couch cushion, find that in your back pocket by accident. 99 cents, that's it. That's at the Padawan level. You get access to giveaways, access to a members-only Discord, and we're going to start doing some members-only live streams and a discount on the merch shop, which is opening up very soon. Then you can join for $5 to get more perks, and then you can join for $10 to get the most perks. Not only are you supporting the channel by giving $10 a month to your favorite content creator, I mean, come on, like, look at my face. But after a year at the $10 level, you will get a free lightsaber. Semi of your own choosing. A free lightsaber after a year at the 10 level membership tier. So think about becoming a member. It is amazing. Billy, how do you join the Discord? Great question. So you have to link your Discord to the to your YouTube account, and then you'll instantly be put into the private portion of the Discord. Yeah. All right. So, and the Discord itself is in the description below. There's a free Discord version in the description below, so you can join that. So, becoming a member, you get these cool badges that you're seeing in chat right now. This is when you first join for your first month with Obi's lightsaber. Then you get Qui-Gon's in that second month. And then in the third month, you get Ahsoka Tano's right here. Pretty swaggy if I do say so myself. And then in the 6 months, you get Vader's. And then at a year, you get the Skywalker saber. So think about becoming a member. It's just 99 cents at the lowest. But you can also support the channel at $5 or $10. And at that $10, if you stay there for a whole year, you get a free lightsaber. So that's the cool stuff that we're trying to bribe you with, but also it's a good way to support the channel and the best way to support the channel, honestly. So think about it. And Billy just became a member of the People Who Love Star Wars this stream, so huge shout out to Billy. Anthony says, yes, I think Carson Teva has taken on both narrative roles of himself and Kara's. They were supposed to be partners, part of the Adelphi Rangers. They would have fleshed out the Pirate Nation story too. Yeah, and maybe Skeleton Crew will also flesh that out as well. Yeah, we'll see that too. Yeah, but I wonder if Zeb Aurelius was going to be involved in that, because Zeb being a part of the New Republic of the Adelphi Station definitely wasn't like a new concept. You know, he was thrown in The Mandalorian season 3 for a reason. You know. Cat's Paw says, Anthony, I mourn what could have been. Maybe in the future, they should do some firing or sell Lucasfilm. Could actually see some great content again. Well, you're seeing great content. That's the problem. It's the interfering of Kathleen Kennedy, of course, but it's also the interfering of, the the higher ups at Disney itself, the executives at Disney itself, the CEO with Bob Chapek and Bob Iger, or just the higher ups in general at Disney. They're interfering, they're making them announce stuff that isn't ready, they're doing all this other stuff so that they can make money. And I get it, it's a money-making machine that is Disney, but if you want to make quality, good content, then you're going to have to let the creatives do their own thing and announce their own projects when they're ready to be announced, and not just announce them with the opportunity of them being canceled, you know? John Groom says, a droid story would be about Hu Yang throughout the eons would be awesome. It would be awesome. And honestly, it would be a cool way to kind of switch the whole droid story thing around. Yeah. And by the way, the poll right now is 57% of you don't even want the Lando movie. 57% don't want the Lando movie. Yeah, that's crazy. Anthony says, well, Marshal/Agent Cara Dune is not dead. She's currently in universe, a New Republic Special Forces agent. Hopefully at some point, what the hell? That cuts off on my screen. Hang on. Hopefully at some point, she resurfaces, thwarting the major crime. Thwarting a major crime. Yeah, maybe Cara Dune comes back. But the only way that Cara Dune comes back is if Kathleen Kennedy gets fired and she comes out and makes some apology or something. I don't know. It's possible that she eventually comes back, and fans will be welcome to that, I'm sure, because most fans would be really excited to see her come back. But right now it doesn't seem very likely, you know? Yeah, it could only happen if KK gets fired for sure. Well, 3 years is a long time, is where I'm getting at. Yeah, 3 years is a long time. To announce a project like Ahsoka and then get it 3 years later, like Ahsoka. When that was announced, Ahsoka was like an insanely cool idea, and we really, really wanted to see it. It was awesome. Oh, Tony. Well, thank you very much, Tony. Tony, welcome to the people who love Star Wars at the Padawan level. Thank you very much, Tony. That's very generous. We are up to 9 members now. Oh, wait. Were you the 10th member, Tony? Because Billy joined too. I think we're up to double digits, ladies and gentlemen. That's backwards. Is that backwards for you guys? What? How does this work? Is this backwards? Thank you very much, Tony. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Thank you. I think we're up to 10 members. That's crazy. Double digits, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some hype in the chat for the double-digit members. Here we go. That's hype. That is so hype. Oh my god. That's crazy. And I believe I said at 15 members, I'd make the girl who loves Star Wars make a guest appearance. Can we get some hype in the chat by spamming the good cups follow orders with this giant ass cup coming on screen here? Next stream, guys, I promise I'll have some giant confetti thing. Like so you know how we got the cool new intro? I'm going to get some confetti thing that goes boom, like you've joined the people who love Star Wars, like something cool for the members, you know? You know. Geeks of Mackleby, what's up, says, I would love a Game of Thrones type film about the warlords of the Imperial Remnant trying to be the top dog. That would be kind of cool. I honestly got some Game of Thrones sort of vibes from the Ahsoka show. When they were on Peridia and you had like all these different people from the Bandits to the Noti to Thrawn to the Night Sisters to all these different people, it really kind of felt like that Game of Thrones type thing. And you kind of left off on that same place with Shin being in charge of the bandits, Ahsoka and Sabine being with the Noti, like all that stuff. Yeah, it was very cool. Yeah, I'd love to see that for sure. Game of Thrones type of anything would be cool in Star Wars. That's for sure. That is for sure. Jango and Cad Bane are your favorite 2 bounty hunters. They're pretty good. For sure. Anthony says, Mike, I wish, if I have a wish / theory, at the end of Thrawn's reign, it will be Lord Boba Fett who is going to destroy him. Really? Boba Fett you want to kill Thrawn? Who do you guys want to kill Thrawn? Who do you guys want to hit the striking blow on Grand Admiral Thrawn here? Would it be... I think the most likely 2 options are either Grogu. I guess 3 options. Grogu, Luke Skywalker, or Ahsoka Tano herself. I think those are probably the most likely one. Maybe Ezra Bridger because of all of his history with him. I feel like it has to be somebody who has history with him, or Grogu or Luke Skywalker, because those 2 are so important. Catspaw says Ezra, yeah, makes sense. Ezra would make the most sense because of the history he has with him, and of course being stranded on an island, on a different galaxy with him for 10 years. I'm sure he's the one who wants to make that striking blow. Yeah. You vote Ezra too? Bo-Katan, Ian? Bo-Katan? That's actually not a terrible guess because Bo-Katan is supposed to be like the leader of the Mandalorians, you know? It's not a bad guess. I like it a lot. Geeks of Muckleby says, Star Wars Battlefront 2015, Dengar, Mando, and Cad Bane are my favorite bounty hunters. Wait, what about Star Wars Battlefront 2015 then? What are you talking about? Dengar, Mando, and Cad Bane. Yeah, those are some great ones as well. Dengar's underrated for sure. Good point. Anybody know how to link your Discord to YouTube? Yeah, you got to just go in like the settings of Discord. It's pretty easy actually. You go to settings of Discord, go to connections, and then just there should be YouTube there. Yeah. Do you join on Patreon? John, what are you talking about? Oh, join as a member? No, you join right in the description of this video. I'll show you right now. It's very, very easy. Go to YouTube. I'll show you my whole screen. You go to this awesome stream right here. It's me. See, it's me. Look at it. That's me. Look at, oh, guys, smash a freaking like on this video. What are you waiting for? And then you click the description of the video right here. Boom. And then, oh, well, you can't see it. Click the description of the video right there. Boom. And then there's 2 links. One to a free Discord that anybody can join right there. And then one to become a member. And then if you click on the member one, you got 3 options. You got a Padawan tier at only 99 cents a month, which you get these awesome cool tier things that we talked about. You get cool perks, which that cool perk is just a giveaway. You get access to the giveaways, members only Discord, priority comments, of course, and 10% off the merch. when you become a knight, you get all the stuff from the previous one, which is all that stuff we just went over, plus members-only streams, members-only live chats, and 15% off the merch. And then this one you get after a whole year. Well, you get 20% off the merch once it comes to, and gameplay with you. Boom. And after 1 year, a free lightsaber. So those are your 3 options. All 3 come with the cool badges when you're talking in chat too. It's pretty simple to join in the chat. So yeah. Raheem's World. What's up, Raheem? Raheem, you got your Lego Rex helmet in the mail today? Yeah, so our last giveaway was the Lego Rex helmet, which was very, very cool. The biggest giveaway we've done so far. It was at like $70 or something for that. It was a big Lego set. Rex's helmet. It was a lot like Boba's helmet that I got behind me here, but it was Rex's helmet. It was very cool. Raheem just got it in the mail today because he won that giveaway. The next giveaway is coming up in a couple weeks here. Actually, next week. Is next week November? Yeah, because next week is Halloween. Next week is the next giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. Next week is the next giveaway. So if you can't find the 99 cents by next week, if you can find 99 cents by next week, then you can become a member and get a chance to win that giveaway. That'll be awesome. Raheem said, "Oh my God, yes, I got it. I'm gonna take a picture with it." Oh, Raheem, you gotta build it first. But yeah. All right, let's get into this news as well about Ezra Bridger. There's an article here talking about Ezra Bridger's actor breaking his silence on his Star Wars debut. So let's dive right into this article as well here, as we're already a fucking hour into this into this live stream, which I don't know how that keeps happening. I don't know how, but yes. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into it. All right, let's do this. Iman Esfandi, the man behind Ezra Bridger in Lucasfilm's Disney Plus series Ahsoka, has just commented on his role for the first since the Star Wars debut. For the first since his... See, guys, you think I can't read, but these people just can't write articles, okay? For the first since Star Wars debut? That doesn't make English. The arrival of Ezra in the Rosario Dawson-led show was one of the most anticipated moments in Ahsoka's entire run, right next to the arrival of Lars Mikkelsen's Grand Admiral Thrawn. Sadly, because of the SAG-AFTRA strike, which hopefully is coming to an end either next week or the week after, I would guess, they are finally back to negotiations, and hopefully this whole thing will be over soon. Actors haven't been able to publicly comment on any of their work currently being released. The closest Esfandi has come to on-the-record comments have been vague reactions on X, formerly known as Twitter. Is anybody really calling it X? Let's be honest, guys. Are we calling it X? Go follow me on X at a guy who loves Star Wars. Directed at his character getting an emoji in the finale of season 1. Of course, there's Ezra Bridger in all of his glory right there. A new video posted with for the official Star Wars X, formerly known as Twitter. I actually like that more. Not the fact that it's called X. I like the fact that it's called X, formerly known as Twitter. The account seeing actor Iman Esfandi talking about his time at length about Ezra's journey and his connection to the Jedi. We watched this earlier on in the stream, but Esfandi admits that he already felt so connected with Ezra, a hero whom the actor describes as so smart and gifted. So this is what he says: "I take Ezra Bridger as a real person. He's so smart and so gifted. He's grown into himself a lot more. He's become a much stronger Jedi, but even more so, he's become more of a family member amongst his team and the Rebel crew, of course, because he's an outcast pretty much at the beginning of Rebels, and he becomes a family member at the end." He goes on to say, "Because I already felt so connected to Ezra and felt like he was there whenever I needed him. I just felt the inspiration, but yeah, Ezra, young kid with a lot of heart." There you go. So what's next for Ezra in the Star Wars franchise? This is where we want to talk about, okay? We got possibly an Ahsoka Season 2, possibly Dave Filoni's movie, and Ezra Bridger's going to be in all of it. So, in the closing moments of Ahsoka Season 1, Iman Esfandi's Ezra Bridger returns to the home galaxy and reunites with both Hera Syndulla and Chopper. But what's next? Well, he is likely to have a key role in fighting against whatever dastardly plan that Thrawn puts into motion, Ezra will also most likely push to find a way to get back to Ahsoka and Sabine, who were both left on Peridea. That's true. He's probably the lifeline that they have, probably the only one who's likely to go try to save them because they went to save him. Hopefully, getting to reunite with some old faces he hasn't seen in a while is going to be a priority, such as his good friend Zeb Orrelios. A lot of people were very upset that Zeb wasn't involved in Ahsoka Season 1, but there really wasn't, like, it would have been just a cameo, if anything, because he didn't really have a place in that story, you know? Fingers crossed that audiences get to see this all play out over a hypothetical Season 2, which has not yet been confirmed. Iman Esfandi is passionate about the character, so it would be good to get him back as in Ezra's shoes as soon as possible. So there's nothing confirmed yet about Ahsoka Season 2, but would you guys want to see an Ahsoka Season 2? Give me a 2 into the chat if you want to see Ahsoka Season 2. Just because, like, I've gone back and forth on this because we don't really get it, you know? Like, we don't... The problem that Ahsoka is having right now is that a lot of the numbers are coming out about the Ahsoka show, and they aren't that great. You know, the Ahsoka show, people thought that the numbers were going to go way, way up. The finale's numbers were not that high. So to Disney themselves, seeing those numbers would kind of be a little bit shaky because, you know, they wouldn't want to greenlight a Season 2 if they weren't ready for it. Yeah. Tony says Ahsoka Season 2, 3, 4, etc. I think they'll go Ahsoka Season 2, and then they'll go to the movie. Because once you go to the movie, I feel like it should be a trilogy still. I think Dave Filoni should get his own trilogy. And I think after that, Ahsoka's going to be in a place, whether that's Peridea or somewhere else, where she's still alive, but she's not involved in the sequel trilogy, because that's when the sequel trilogy will roll around. And she's not in that, of course. We didn't see Ahsoka in the sequels. But we do hear her voice in Rise of Skywalker, and whether or not she's alive then or not, I don't know. Do you guys think Ahsoka's alive during Episode 9? When all the Jedi are calling out to Ahsoka, do you think that, calling out to Rey, do you think that Ahsoka is still alive in that instance? Because in Ahsoka, she calls out to Sabine very similarly to how she calls out to Rey in Rise of Skywalker with the rest of the Jedi. She calls out to Sabine, maybe foreshadowing the fact that Ahsoka could still be alive during that time. Honestly, I think Ahsoka is the daughter, the living embodiment of the light side of the Force, and I honestly think she can't die. But that's just me. Caspaw says, yes, I think Ahsoka's still alive. Interesting. Ahsoka is alive in an alternate universe during the sequels. So you just mean like Peridea? She's on Peridea? John Groom says, do you think Ahsoka's eventual death should be her own show or in a random show? Well, it should probably be in a movie or in her own show. It should be a big, big event because she's an extremely important character. I would argue she's as important of a character of, let's say, that's tough. I think Obi-Wan and Anakin and Luke, those people are like a little bit higher than Ahsoka, but I think Ahsoka's in that second tier of important characters when it comes to Star Wars, you know? She's the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker. She's an extremely important part of the beginning of the rebellion, but she's also just interconnected to almost all characters across the galaxy, you know? She has that connection to the light side of the Force. She's the living embodiment of the light side of the Force, you know? So we'll see. Yeah. Keto, what's up? Is it Keto or Kaito or Kieto? I've never asked, and I don't want to keep getting it wrong if I'm wrong. Yeah, no. Yoda, honestly. I have no idea what you're referring to, but yes. I agree. I think Ahsoka is the daughter and can't die. Well, I think if she does die, it'll be something similar to what happens to Luke in The Last Jedi, where he just kind of disappears into the nothingness. Either or. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna keep going. Keto. You know, maybe a series with all the past Force users that are dead now. No. I would love to see a Force ghost of Yoda show up again, or maybe Anakin in the future, or maybe even Obi-Wan, because we haven't seen Obi-Wan's Force ghost since the original trilogy, and that would be kind of cool. But would they go with Ewan McGregor or Alec McGuinness? That's a weird question. Maybe we'll eventually see Ben Solo become the Son. Again, though, the Son needs to be pure evil. Needs to be the living embodiment of the dark side of the Force. And Ben Solo just isn't that, you know? He's not the living embodiment of dark side, you know? Yeah, no? Billy, is that a cat in the box? I gotta make emotes or like specialty emojis for members. I have the ability to do that. I just gotta come up with some, you know? We gotta come up with some funny ones. I was thinking of like a goat with the head of Dave Filoni. What do you think? But no, I don't think Ben Solo can become the Son because he's not the living embodiment of the dark side. That's why I think Darth Maul is the perfect example of that, because he's been dark side his whole life. He was dark side his whole life. And even when he's trying to fight Palpatine, he's still dark side, you know? Ian says, I don't think Alec Guinness is available to film Force Ghost scenes. Well, yeah, obviously. But I don't know. That's a weird question. Do you guys want to see a Force Ghost Obi-Wan? Would you want it to be Alec Guinness or Ewan McGregor? Because this is weird. It doesn't really make sense. Would it be... Obviously, Alec Guinness isn't alive anymore, but we've seen Force Ghost Obi-Wan before, and it doesn't look like Ewan McGregor. You know? Rio Chad says, the Son based on the dyad. The Son is based on the dyad? Is he, though? I feel like the Mortis gods don't really have much to do with the dyad of the Force. You know? You'd want to see Ewan McGregor as the Force Ghost? It'd be an aged up Ewan. But wouldn't that be weird? Because the original trilogy, it's not like... and your argument's probably going to be, oh, they changed Anakin's Force Ghost at the end of Return of the Jedi. That's different, because Hayden Christensen comes in and he is Anakin, you know? And that's why they changed it to Hayden Christensen. And now we've seen Hayden Christensen's Force Ghost again. It's different when it comes to Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan's Force Ghost is like seen through the entire freaking original trilogy. Like, he's all over the place. And it's Alec Guinness. I always call him Alec McGuinness, but it's just Guinness. Alec Guinness. So I feel like it would maybe be a little bit weird to see Ewan McGregor as the Force Ghost Obi-Wan. I don't know. Keto says, yeah, they might not show Obi-Wan's ghost again, but if they do, it should be an aged McGregor. Interesting. Tony says, maybe all of the above. Thoughts on... Thoughts an animated character instead of live action. What? I'm confused. But going back to the Son, who's going to be the Son of the living embodiment of the dark side of the Force, would Darth Maul be the best bet? Because Darth Maul does have the backstory with Ahsoka, so the two know each other. I don't know. Who else would make a good son? They'd have to be a living embodiment of the dark side, meaning they have to be the dark side their entire lives. I mean, you got Palpatine, but he's like old. And that would be weird. That'd be weird if like Anakin was having to stop Palpatine just his entire life. You know? Maybe all the above. Thoughts? I got a question for you guys. What would you want the next animated Star Wars show to be? Maybe all of the above suggestions for Force Ghosts as animated characters instead of live action ones, using voice actors instead. Ooh. Interesting. What would you want the next animated Star Wars show to be? After Bad Batch Season 3, Bad Batch is over, and we have nothing. Clone Rebellion? I was thinking a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show with Ben Solo's fall, because first of all, you wouldn't have to de-age Luke like crazy. You wouldn't have to de-age Ben Solo. A young Boba Fett show? Ooh, that would be kind of cool. Like an underworld show with bounty hunters with Boba Fett. That would be actually kind of crazy. Huh. What if they kept going with Omega, and Omega turned into a bounty hunter and kind of worked alongside of her brother, Boba? That'd be wild. Yeah. Chan says he wants one about Luke. I do too. I want a Luke Jedi Temple show, or at least Luke after Return of the Jedi, going around the galaxy collecting Sith and Jedi artifacts. Yeah. Chan says Ben is the dark, Rey is the light, but it balances. I saw someone make that theory about it. It kind of makes sense in a way. Also won't make sense if Anakin is the father, because the theory is based on the father being dead. Well, yeah, the theory makes sense that they are the dyad of the Force, Ben and Rey. But the theory doesn't make sense because the son is supposed to be the living embodiment of the dark side, and the daughter is supposed to be the living embodiment of the light, and we already know that Ahsoka is supposed to be the living embodiment of the light. Yeah. A Darth Maul animated show, Keto, that would be sick. That would be amazing. Bad Batch seems like it's setting up a clone rebellion. Well, that could be true too. What if the Bad Batch is setting up the next animated show? Just like the Clone Wars set up the Bad Batch, what if the Bad Batch sets up the next animated show? I just don't see them... I don't see there being a big enough story in that time period between Bad Batch and Rebels that would be a big enough story to tell in an animated show that wouldn't affect the canon, you know? So I think moving towards the Mandoverse era and going towards Luke in a Jedi Temple show or something like that would make more sense, you know? Brittany, what's up? Brittany says, give Star Wars to John and Dave. I agree with that. Honestly, though, Brittany, a lot of fans aren't about that, which is weird to me. A young Balin show would be cool. Ooh, animated Balin and Shin. What's up, Brandon? How we doing? But I feel like they are holding cards for the characters' past and future plot. They're holding cards. Oh, you mean like they're not going to do it because of Ray Stevenson's passing away? Yeah, maybe. But if they were to do it, they'd do it in animation for sure. Like a Tales of the Jedi or even a full-on animated show. That'd be cool. Well, think about it. Oh, wait. What if the next animated show is about Grogu? About his time in between Order 66 and the beginning of Mando? Because we see him disappear with Keller and Beck in Mando Season 3 during Order 66. And he goes to Naboo in a Naboo starfighter. But what happens then? Because there's still 20 years until he shows up in Mando with the pirates. What do we think about that? Billy says, what do we think will happen with the other female clone? You mean Omega? Oh, Omega's sister? I'm sure she'll die. I mean, she's just a scientist on Mount Tantus. I'm sure she'll die. Yeah, for sure. Ian says, I want Ahsoka to have a happy ending and not get stuck with Maul for the next 30,000 years. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do the whole... Mortis God thing from here on out, because I don't know if they're going to keep it going, you know? I think the Mortis God's dying allowed Abeloth to reach out to Balin, and I think Abeloth is still imprisoned on Peridia, but Balin's about to free her, and then she's going to go fucking ham. I'm working on a video right now that'll come out tomorrow, hopefully, that is about Shin being Abeloth. Now, of course, not right now. She's not Abeloth, but Abeloth is going to embody Shin. Now, we talked about this a little bit on stream last time, but if you put Shin Hati and Abeloth next to each other, let's do it. There's Shin, and then let's go Abeloth. A lot of their features are the same. Oh my god, Abeloth scares the shit out of me, you guys. Literally gonna have nightmares again tonight. Jesus Christ. Okay, so we got Shin Hati, of course, and Abeloth. They look very similar. They get the white hair. They're both girls, of course, but they're both kind of creepy looking. Shin's got the no blinking thing going on, and that's just scary as balls. But I think there's definitely some correlation here. I think Dave Filoni definitely made Shin look like Abeloth on purpose. Now, I think Abeloth is so powerful that she doesn't even, like, physically exist, and she's going to have to, like, put her essence into Shin, and then they're kind of just going to go from there, where Shin is now Abeloth and powerful as fuck. Because Shin stayed on Peridia. Balin, her master, is going to free Abeloth, and I think Abeloth is probably just going to go kill Balin, be like, you did your job, bye-bye, and kill Balin, and that will kind of end Balin's story in some sort of way, you know? And then I think she's going to embody Shin Hati. What do you guys think about that? You know, maybe Shin drinks from the drinks from the front and swims in the pool and becomes the canon Abeloth. So you think, wow, Ian, that's actually a good point. That could actually happen, Ian, where she could follow her master to wherever he's going, and maybe it's the fountains or the wells that Abeloth drank out of that made her the way that she is, and she's the one who actually becomes Abeloth. That would be crazy. I still think Abeloth was imprisoned by the Mortis gods, and then kind of they saved him, you know? Yeah, no. Cal Kestis before Order 66 show. I don't think there's a lot going on there for a show, you know. Chan says, I wish something about Ben or Luke. I don't know why they never do anything with Luke. We have so much story to tell. Well, the reason they don't really do that with Luke is just because they don't have the ability to. Deep faking Luke they can do, and it's getting better and better and better, but it's tough to do, and it costs a lot of money to do. So an animated show with Luke would make more sense, and I don't know why they don't do that. But I think they want to take... I get that the Clone Wars was a big success for them, and it had the main characters of Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and all of them. But for some reason, with Luke and Leia and Han, they don't want to put them in animation. I don't know what it is, but they don't. I don't get it. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yes, I agree. I think they need to tell the Ben and Luke story. Did you guys watch my video? Did you watch my video from yesterday about the stuff we kind of talked about on stream? So it doesn't really matter. But about the Sean Levy movie and about why I think it's going to be about Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker and all that stuff. Did you guys watch that video? Give me a 1 into the chat if you watched that video, because I really dive into that stuff, because I think Ben Solo's story needs to be told about his fall, but I think it's just as important to just give us Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple. We got to see how that failed. It's a very important part of the Star Wars canon, of the storyline, and we need to see it. We need to see it for sure. John says, would love to see Balin in Tales of the Jedi, but I don't know enough, or we don't know enough about him to have only 10-minute stories. That's true, because they take Dooku, who we know a little bit about, and they take Ahsoka, who we know a lot about, and extend their story. Balin would be a little bit harder to do, and I think with Tales of the Jedi, they're probably going to go to more of a well-known Jedi like Luke or something. Yeah, I agree with that. Cat's Paw says, we need the Mortis gods together again to defeat Abeloth. Whoa. What if Anakin has to come back? Not like come back, but you know what I mean. Sort of come back. Like Luke Skywalker comes back in Rise of Skywalker and is able to touch things with being a Force ghost, like grabbing lightsabers and stuff. What if Anakin has to sort of like come back and help defeat Abeloth? That would be insane. That would be crazy. Yeah. Salty Texas Ranger says, I'd like to put my essence into Shin too. Oh, God. Oh, God. How we doing, Salty? Billy says, what if Abeloth possesses a giant rock? Well, then that rock would be pretty powerful, but it probably wouldn't be able to move. John says, honestly, I want Shin redemption story. Well, what if she turns into Abeloth, and then Abeloth kind of gets like sucked out of her? Guys, I know what I just said, okay? Let's leave it be. Let's leave it be. Okay. Gets sucked out of Shin. We get it. Jokes. Funny. But then Shin goes on that redemption arc and becomes a good guy, you know? A good guy. Maybe an animation. Yeah. Brandon Altman says, I would also love to see a war story showing R5 or even Chopper. I doubt you'll see that. I seriously doubt you'll ever see that. Yeah. Yeah. Billy says, I was here for the live. There you go. Thanks. Chan says, yeah, even Lucas didn't do anything with those characters and they never been touched, only for minutes, but not in animation or anything, like Lucas did with the prequel trilogy characters. Yeah. The original trilogy characters kind of have this bubble around them where they don't really get touched all that much. And when they do, like Luke Skywalker, he shows up at the end of Mando Season 2, saves the day. He shows up in the Book of Boba Fett to train Grogu, but they're brief scenes and they don't show too much, you know? A Plo Koon solo show? Well, Billy, if you put Dave Filoni in charge, you'd get that Plo Koon show. Yeah. But right now, I doubt it. Please rephrase that Shin comment. I'm sorry. Too late. Too late. But yeah, watch out for that video coming out tomorrow. Probably around 1 p.m. or something like that. I'm not too sure. Maybe 12 again. I think 12 is the best time for releases. So watch out at noon tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That Shin Hati is Abloth video. It's going to be good. It's definitely going to be good. I already wrote the whole script for the video. I'm going to record it after this and edit it and get it done for you guys for tomorrow. It's a very good one. It's a very good one. And right now the poll sits at 68% of you don't want to see the Lando movie. I'm going to end that poll. Okay, let me throw this one by you. What time is it for you right now? Billy asks. Right now for me, it's 7:21 p.m. 7:21 p.m. 7:21. Yeah. John says, how about an animated series about the Book of Boba Fett biker gangs? Oh yeah, the Vespa gang? Oh, sign me up. Not. I'm going to bring Not back. I'm bringing Not back. That's a terrible idea, John, and I hate it. Just kidding, much love. Let me throw this by you guys. I want to go back to doing what ifs on the channel. What if Fridays? It was a thing that we did for a little while. It was a long time ago. What if Fridays? And what we would do is on these live streams, we come up with the best what if that we can as a community here for the week. And we would do it as a what if for the week. So we'd probably do it on Saturday stream or Tuesday stream and give me enough time to make the video. And we do a giant what if video that I work on all through the week. And we'd go back to doing some what ifs because I think what ifs are very, very cool. And doing them is really, really fun. It is only 22 seconds where you are, or 22 minutes where John is. John, it's already 1 in the morning for you almost? That's crazy. Extra hour of sleep this weekend? I thought they got rid of that, Tony. 4:21 for you, Tony? 6:21 for you, Cat's Paw. Billy says 12:21 at night for you? Wow, it's already almost 1 in the morning for you? That's crazy. That is crazy. Crazy. But what about the what ifs, guys? Come on. Are we on board or what do we John says, where are you in the UK, Billy? Oh, okay, jeez, guys. What ifs? No? Yes? What? Nothing? Fine. No what ifs for you then. Jeez. All right, we got any other Star Wars news that you guys want to go over? Is there anything else going on around the world right now in Star Wars land? Hasbro Star Wars just announced new Star Wars Black Series figures, including a Star Killer figure. Ooh, the Jango, Mace Windu, and Thrawn comics coming out in 2024. Balin's Skull. Ooh, what is this? Ooh. Okay, let's read this. Let's read this article. Let's do this. John says there are great what if stories on YouTube. Yeah, and they would be mine too, John, if I made them. We could come up with them as a community and I could make them. Sounds fun. There you go, Keto. There you go. What if Mace Windu grew corrupt? I mean, like after he died or what? What if Mace Windu had been nice to Anakin? That's a good one. There you go. I'm in Stoke-on-Trent. Like, that sentence makes zero sense to me. But okay, let's read this article. Let's dive into this article. Windu was corrupt by Solotri in Dogma. That's true. That is true. He was corrupted by the Dogma for sure. All right, where did that article just go? I just pulled it up. Okay, this is Balin's Skull. Let's get into some Balin's Skull stuff. What if Obi-Wan, I think that means Obi-Wan is what you're trying to say? Obi-Wan didn't leave Anakin on Mustafar. Yeah, we'd have to come up with some like ones that haven't been done yet, you know? You know? Friggin' what's up, friggins? How we doing? I work every other Friday in alternate weekends, but I would like to see a what if video. There we go. Now we're getting some love for the what ifs. Hype. Okay, let's dive into this article. Let's do it. Baylan Skoll, Clone Wars backstory revealed in incredible Star Wars art. Ahsoka's antagonist Baylan Skoll's mysterious history and Clone Wars backstory are beautifully depicted in new piece of Star Wars art. So again, the mysterious character that survived Order 66, this is cool-ass new character, we will see. What if Yoda trained Leia instead of Luke? That's a good one. Baylan Skoll's time as a Jedi general during the Clone Wars has been beautifully depicted in this piece of Ahsoka-inspired Star Wars art. Oh, is this just a fan art? Oh, we'll see. Baylan Skoll is one of Star Wars' most exciting new antagonists. The late Ray Stevenson's imposing presence imbued the character with plenty of gravitas, while his relationship with his Padawan Shin Hati and his unique orange lightsaber made audiences all the more curious about his life before the events of Ahsoka and his experiences in the galaxy during and after the fall of the Jedi Order. A new piece of Ahsoka-inspired art by artist Yuzuri Art illustrates that Baylan Skoll may have looked like a Jedi general. What Baylan Skoll may have looked like as a Jedi general during the time of the Clone Wars. So this is pretty damn cool. Let's take a look at this. I mean, that's fantastic. A young Baylan Skoll with a green lightsaber, the kyber crystal that's on his thing. Whew, that looks swaggy. That looks pretty damn cool. Not gonna lie. Yeah, the lightsaber's sick. That's pretty cool. That is pretty damn cool. All right, let's keep reading the article. This shows how the young Baylan Skoll might have looked before the stress and trauma of Order 66 could have an effect on him. His hair is a soft shade of brown, his beard is nowhere to be seen, and his lightsaber is a striking shade of green instead of the ambiguous orange color that he wields in Ahsoka. Baylan Skoll is one of Star Wars' most intriguing villains. Baylan's mysterious past has made him one of Star Wars' most compelling villains. Part of that intrigue comes from not knowing much. Star Wars fans love to know everything, and I get that. It's fun to speculate and know everything, but the speculation is the fun part. Trying to figure out what's going on with these characters is what makes it fun. That's why when Dave Filoni especially leaves stuff up to our own interpretation and doesn't just give us the facts, that's why it's cool. That's what's really cool about Baylan, the mystery behind him. Not knowing much, if anything, about his history with the Jedi or his life as the Empire took control of the galaxy. He knew Anakin Skywalker, but nothing else is revealed about his time as a general during the Clone Wars. He carries an orange lightsaber, a color which is never seen before in Star Wars canon. Is Plo Koon's orange? Plo Koon orange lightsaber? I remember, is it orange in the Clone Wars, though? Let's see. Plo Koon orange lightsaber. Let's see. Yeah, it's blue in the movies. That's what I thought. It's blue. It's blue in the movies and in the Clone Wars. I was right. Of course I'm right. I'm always right. Am I ever wrong, guys? Let's be honest. Okay. But it is never revealed how he acquired it. And while he worked along Morgan Elsbeth to rescue Grand Admiral Thrawn, it's clear he had his own motives to going to Peridia, as demonstrated by his discovery of the Mortis God statues in the finale of Ahsoka. Most intriguing of all, however, is that Baylan is not the franchise's typical Force-wielding villain. He's not a Sith, nor an Inquisitor. Baylan and his apprentice are Star Wars' first non-canon Dark Jedi. They aren't Sith. That's clearly made clear when Baylan doesn't want to kill Ahsoka. He really isn't a Sith at all. They don't have the red lightsabers. They're not evil. They're kind of just on the border. He wields the dark side of the Force, but laments having to kill Ahsoka Tano, and he mourns the fact that so few Jedi have survived since Palpatine rose to power. He's also not working for Palpatine, which, again, he is compassionate yet intimidating. He is assertive yet courageous. It's this unique combination of traits that has made Baylan Skoll one of Ahsoka's most intriguing characters and one of Star Wars' best villains. And hopefully audiences will get the chance to learn more about him in backstories in the future. So what's cool about this is Baylan is one of the cool new villains of Star Wars. He is one of the coolest characters to ever exist in the villain category when it comes to Star Wars. The problem is Ray Stevenson sadly passed away, and that's what even hurts even more, because Baylan Skoll is so damn cool. An incredible new character. So is Shin, but Baylan more so. And now we don't get to see any more of his character. Backstory, maybe in animation possibly, or with a younger actor, but anything moving forward is going to be really, really tough to do without him. So, we'll see. We shall see. Yeah. Okay. What if C-3PO was an assassin droid? What if Plagueis had killed Palpatine? Huh, interesting. It said Padawan, not apprentice? What? Oh, you mean when I was reading? My fault. Baylan is hot? Oh, there you go. He got some Baylan is hot, not Shin Hotty's hot. Finally. What if KK never joined Lucasfilm? That's a fantastic one, John. Oh my God, we might have to do that one first. What if Kathleen Kennedy never joined Lucasfilm? I'm writing it down. What if KK never joined Lucasfilm? That's awesome. That might be the first what if back for what ifs. That's a great one, John. What if Ezra killed Thrawn on Peridia? That would be a good one too. Anthony says, so people theorizing that Baylan's lightsaber was green. I would figure it might have been yellow as well, given the Sentinel kind of mentality. Oh, like he had the same mentality as those people? Yeah, I guess. Did he and the Grand Inquisitor know each other? I don't know. But I think it was green because he's got the green kyber crystal on his belt. So I think that's probably from his old lightsaber, you know? Keto says, very sad, but the show must go on, I guess. I know, and it's a real big bummer, but is a recast like the best solution? And is Disney going to do the recast? That's kind of the problem that they're working with here. Anthony says, this is why I hope we see Baylan featured in both Tales of the Jedi Season 2 and Star Wars The Living Force novel. Yeah, you could put him in novels, you can put him in animation, you could put him in video games, I guess. That'd be kind of hard to do as well. What if he comes face to face with Cal Kestis in Jedi 3? What if Baylan's like one of the main sort of, not villains, but like, you know, Dark Jedi in that game? What if he's like a Malicos sort of person, you know? Ooh, Baylan in Jedi 3? You guys want to see that? Baylan in Jedi 3. Ooh, we might have to get that going. We might have to get that going, trending on Twitter or something. On X, sorry, formerly known as Twitter. John Groom says, an animated series about the rise and fall of the Zepho? I don't know if they'll go that route because it probably won't get many eyes on it, you know? Cat's Paw says, I think people are thinking Baylan's saber was green because of the green kyber crystal on his belt. Yeah. Yep. Friggin says, what if Yoda had taken baby Leia to Dagobah and raised her to be batshit crazy swamp rat Jedi from infancy? That would be crazy, Friggin. If Yoda was like, I'll take the girl. Whew, I should be writing all these down. Damn. What if Yoda raised Leia? I'm writing it down. What if Yoda raised Leia? That's a good one. That's a good one for sure. Salty Texas Ranger says, yes, Pelimoto in the jungle. What? What? I agree. The question is, where do he and Shin get their lightsabers from then? Do they both carry green kyber crystals? Yet they have colon crystals in their lightsabers, i.e. no bleeding. Yeah, so the orange is technically not bled, I guess. I'm not too sure about that. But the orange lightsaber must have been found. But where they found it, I don't know. It'd be a cool story to tell. Baylan and Cal Kestis would be very interesting. It would, wouldn't it? That would be so cool. If Baylan Skoll was in Jedi 3, whew, I'm writing it down. Baylan Skoll in Jedi 3. Guys, my handwriting is so bad that it's like if I can read that later, I'd be surprised. I'd be like, Baal Stall in G? Yeah. That's what it looks like. Or a DLC for Survivor. Survivor won't get any DLCs. No, it won't. That's not a game that will get DLCs. It'll be in the next game for sure. Yeah. There is a theory that Baylan and Shin's Kybers are colon out there. What does that mean? Colon? Like they found them in their butts? Colon lightsaber crystals. All right, let's see it. Let's see it. Colon crystals. Let's read this. Let's do it. Why not? Colon crystals. Here we go. From Canon Star Wars. A colon. I'm going with colon. Colon crystal was a type of crystal known only to be found on the Pijal moon. The structure of the Kyber was extremely similar to the one of the Kyber crystal used within the lightsabers, although their nature was fundamentally different. They were extremely rare, even more so than the true Kyber crystal. So it's just a different type of crystal for a lightsaber. The color is orange. Interesting. We're not going to read the whole history. Shows up in Master and Apprentice. Okay. That's the only appearance of it. Interesting. Fascinating. The more you know. It's definitely possible, but it would still beg the question of how they found them, you know? Still definitely beg that question. Billy says, would you suggest the Survivor game as I couldn't get into Fallen Order? You couldn't get into Fallen Order? I think Survivor's a better game, for sure. Gameplay-wise, but also just better story-wise, I think, personally. I like the story of Fallen Order. I personally really don't like campaign games. I don't like playing by myself. I would way rather be playing with you guys or with my friends or with whomever. I'd rather play multiplayer games like a shooter game like Fortnite or Apex or even like Rocket League or Battlefront 2 or something like that. I don't like the campaign games. However, I was able to stream Jedi Fallen Order and you guys were able to watch and hang out with me, and that was way more fun for me because I got to react to the game itself. The story was really, really good, and that was fun for me, doing it with the community. So that was different. If you don't like campaign games, it is a lot harder to get into. I get that, but it's an incredible story, and I would suggest playing through both games, definitely. And if not, you could always just watch gameplay of it. Doesn't even have to be me. There could be like a story description or something of it, you know. It is a good story though. Raheem says, I want Clone Wars Season 8. I don't know what it would be about, but I still want it. Yeah, Clone Wars Season 8 probably won't happen because the Clone Wars end during Order 66 and Clone Wars Season 7 ended with Order 66, so the Clone Wars are over, you know. I mean, I played all of Halo Infinite. I played Halo Infinite a little bit. Yeah, Halo Infinite wasn't a terrible game. I'll give you that. It was fun. I'm loving all the members' badges in the chat now. It's a lot cool. It's very cool to see. We're up to 10 members, which is absolutely wild. Very, very cool. Huge shout out to Billy Smith again and Tony for becoming members today on this stream. That was it, right? Nobody else became a member? Don't want to forget about anybody. I believe it was just Tony and Billy. Yeah, just Tony and Billy. Thank you guys very, very much. It was very, very kind of you. Very, 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 very. Thank. Got any other Star Wars news you guys want to get into? We're about an hour, 40 minutes. Probably get out of here pretty soon. Unless you guys got something else you want to talk about. I feel like I always forget to bring something up on stream, and then once the stream ends, I'm like, damn it. So I gotta like triple check myself here that I went over all the stuff I wanted to, you know? Yana. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? I don't know. Tales of the Jedi premiered 1 year ago today. Wow, Tales of the Jedi was 1 year ago today, ladies and gentlemen. That's awesome. What a great show. That show was incredible. Wow, I might go rewatch that tonight because it's the 1 year anniversary, you know? Tales of the Jedi was bomb. Tales of the Jedi was bomb, that's for sure. Raheem, season 8 could be about the Clone Rebellion. There you go. But it wouldn't, yeah, maybe. That would be cool. Yeah, for sure. There are many written episodes that never got past previs. That's true. But again, they would be all over the place. They wouldn't really be a season 8 together, you know? Tony says, on a different topic, the scene where Thrawn enters hyperspace with the Night Mothers standing behind him on one side and an empty space on the other where Shin's character would have stood. It was erased, and the scene of Shin holding the saber above the Raiders was changed due to Rey's death. Wow, you think? Hang on, let's pull up that scene. Thrawn and Night Sisters on Eye of Sion. Let's see if we can find it. Holy shit. There's definitely a spot there for her. This is the only thing I can find. It's like a gif of it. See, there's a spot on this right side right here. Perfect spot right there for Shin. Standing right there. Let me try and find a better thing than that. If I pull it up on Disney Plus, though, it will just be a black screen. Let's see. See if I can find it. But wow, what if they did do that because of Rey's death and they had... That would be fascinating. Let's see. Let's scroll over. So this whole scene where Thrawn is talking to Ahsoka, you can see Enoch to his side. It's a black screen, damn it. But there's a spot there for Shin for sure. This is when they jump into hyperspace. Very interesting. That's a great catch, Tony. For sure, great catch, without a doubt. And I wonder if that's what really happened, because maybe they were going to go with Balin would have been embodied by Abeloth and he would have come back as this big, big threat. But maybe now they have to go with Shin and kind of do a little Uno reverse type thing, you know? That'd be wild. I've grown on liking the upcoming Star Wars game. Oh, Billy, really? The Star Wars Outlaws? I know. The more and more I hear about it and the more and more I watch the trailer of the gameplay and stuff, it's gotta be a cool game. Open world Star Wars games sound incredible to me. Yaddle versus Dooku in Tales of the Jedi was fire. Oh yeah, friggins', it was incredible. A year ago today. Darth Calginus? What's up, Darth Calginus? How are we doing? Is that a real Sith Lord or is that just your name? Thrawn and the Night Sisters make no sense. Zombies are corny, maybe? Thrawn and the Night Sisters make no sense? What do you mean? What do you mean? Tony says, Balin would be upset if Shin was still on the planet. No, for sure he would. But it also makes sense that Shin stayed on the planet. She didn't want to go with Thrawn and the Night Sisters. She doesn't like Thrawn, or the Night Sisters for that matter. She hates the witches, you know? Yeah, I know. That's very interesting, Tony. That's a good catch. Maybe it's possible that Shin was supposed to be on that. I'm writing it down. Was Shin supposed to join Thrawn? Interesting. Shin is a lost soul. She really is, for sure. She really is. All right, I think we're going to get out of here, guys, unless you guys have something else you want to talk about. I think we are all out of news for today. It was a very cool news day. I will give you that. Finding out that Disney really forced Lucasfilm to announce projects that they weren't even ready for, weren't even in development. Crazy. Absolutely crazy that it's confirmed too by people in the background. It's wild. It's really, really wild to see that be confirmed because we had our suspicions. We really had our suspicions. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We had our suspicions about Disney and the executives and really kind of pushing all that stuff. Animated series about Ezra training Jason? No, I want that in live action. I need that in live action. You got Jason, you got Ezra, you got the actors. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Darth Caligus says, we know that the Night Sisters are wiped out, and the only and eldest members knew how to raise the dead. Now they're resurrecting, which is entirely different than zombies. The Inquisitor is somehow a zombie? Yeah, so the Inquisitor, Marok, wasn't really explained fully in, like, at all. He turns into smoke, and that wasn't really explained at all, you know? It really wasn't. But to your other point, the Night Sisters were all wiped out on Dothamir, yes. But the Night Sisters that are in the catacomb on Peridia are asleep. And Thrawn wakes up the Great Mothers. And they're the Great Mothers, so they're extremely powerful. They're kind of like 3 Mother Talzins, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Shin helps defeat Abeloth, or maybe she becomes Abeloth. You know? Maybe she becomes Abeloth. But it was very cool to get all those cool little things from Dave Filoni and Ezra Bridger, or Iman Esfandi, I should say, too. I love those little videos and stuff like that. And getting to see Baylan Skoll, that artist was pretty damn cool. Seeing the young version of Baylan Skoll in the Clone Wars was bonkers. Very, very cool. So huge shout out to Billy Smith again and Tony for becoming members. We are up to 10 members now, which is absolutely insane. Double digits is wild. Best way to support, again, is to become a member. Only 99 cents. 99 cents. You can find it on the freaking ground if you looked hard enough. 99 cents to become one is fantastic. Yeah. Are you going to play the Spider-Man game? Because I won't. I would love to. I don't have a PlayStation. I'm on Xbox. I am too. Billy, you're on Xbox? I'm on Xbox too. Add me. Dr. Gonkdroid. Dr. Period. Gonkdroid. Capital D, capital G, capital D. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't have PlayStation, so I won't be playing Spider-Man. But a very loved member around the channel here is Honey Badger. Go check him out on Twitch. He's playing Spider-Man. For him playing Spider-Man too. Everybody go crash Badger's. I'm pretty sure Badger goes live in 45 minutes. Honey Badger Young Badger is YVNG Badger 71 on Twitch. Go watch him play tonight. Go follow him on Twitch, and let's crowd his chat tonight. Watch him play some Spider-Man. Playing Forza. Forza's fun. Forza's fun for sure. All right, I'm going to get on out of here. You guys are the absolute best. Again, huge shout out to Tony and Billy for becoming members of People Who Love Star Wars. Very, very generous. And until next time, where we have some more news on Saturday. We'll have a fun stream on Saturday for sure. And then next week on Tuesday is actually going to be Halloween. So I'll be all dressed up as probably Anakin Skywalker. I get the robes and everything. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. For sure. Darth Caligus says, the problem is he's done it twice. In Tales of the Jedi with the mysterious dark side user and all the hype with Ahsoka just for the one-shot them. Filoni is a terrible writer is all I'm saying. Well, that's ridiculous. Filoni's the best writer they got over there. But the one-shot of Ahsoka versus that Inquisitor in Tales of the Jedi is very similar to the way Morok died. Yes, they both turn into nothingness. They just both kind of disappear. But the one-shot type thing was something that happened with Obi-Wan and Maul, too. It's kind of more of, like, there are very eccentric battles of different whatevers, but Ahsoka's way more powerful than those Inquisitors, you know? So she's already got the upper hand, and she already knows that she can take it. She literally takes down that Inquisitor without a lightsaber. Takes his lightsaber from him, chops his head off. Like, that's pretty damn cool. Yeah. Yeah. Tony says, nice to be here for the entire show. You're the best. No, you're the best. All right, I'm going to get on out of here. You guys are the absolute best. Hope you have no, hang on. Smash a like on this video if you haven't already. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video and my pretty face gets shown up on your recommended feed of yours, whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah. All right. And may the force be with you. Always. Oh, yeah. If you guys haven't seen this yet, this amazing intro/outro. Ba, ba, ba. Oh yeah. Next video's out tomorrow, Tony. About Shin Batty being Abeloth. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody.